Amazing people. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work through some examples of solving equations with inequalities. Now, in this first one here, we've got 2x plus 4 is less than 10. So as we go ahead and solve it, we just do our normal algebraic solving techniques here. So we're going to end up with 2x is less than 6, and then I can divide both sides by 2, and that will give me an answer of x is less than 3. Now, the other key thing here is we need to make sure we graph it. So as we graph it here, make sure you're using a ruler to get a nice straight line. So let's go across here, and we're just going to space our points out here. So I'm going to put my values here as 1, 2, 3, and I'll add another one of 4. Okay, in this case here, it's x less than 3, and so it's not going to be colored in because it's not equal to. So it's going to be open, and it's going to be in that direction. So that's how we do the first one. Now the next one, again, we're following the same process here as we go about this. So to begin with, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Okay, this is going to give me 3x is greater than or equal to 25. And in this case, as I divide by 3, this is going to give me x is greater than or equal to, and we've got 25 divided by 3 here to work out. That's going to be 8 and 1/3. So again, we're going to seek to graph this now on a number line. So I've got my number line here and my values spaced out. And because we've got a fraction, it is going to create quite a number of variables here. So I'm going to have this as 8, 8 1/3, 8 2/3, 9, 9 1/3. Okay, and again, this one is greater than or equal to. So because of that, where we place the circle, it needs to be colored into made solid. And we just put our arrow to show the direction we're moving in here. So you can see how this works. Okay, the next example here, again, following the same processes. So I'm going to -5 from both sides. And this is going to give me negative 3x is less than or equal to 15. Now I'm going to divide by negative 3 here on both sides. But as a result of this, this is going to change something as we go to the next part. So we're going to have x, but the direction of the sign is going to change from less than or equal to now greater than or equal to, because we did divide by that negative number here. And so when we work this out, we're going to have an answer of -5. So again, once we've done that process, it's just a matter of working through to graph it here. So as we go about that, put my parts in here. So I'm going to start at -6, -5, -4, -3. And so this one is equal to, which means it has to be solid. I'm going to -5 and coloring that in so it's a nice solid circle. And that's going to be greater than. That's what happens as we work through this example. Okay, we've got some more examples to work through here. Now, in this first one, we've got to just use our algebraic processes here. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. And as we do that, we have -2x is going to be less than 12. We then need to divide by -2 on both sides. Remember, when we're dividing by a negative, that's going to change the direction of the sign here. So it's now going to be x is greater than, because that direction has changed, -6. And so again, as we go to graph this, use a ruler to make sure it's nice and straight. We've got our values in here. So we're going to have -6, -5, -7. And this one is going to be an open circle because it's not including -6, because it's not equal to as well. And we're moving in the right direction there. Okay. The next one, we've got 2 - 3x over 4 is greater than or equal to 5. So to start off with this, I'm going to multiply by 4 on both sides. And give me 2 - 3x greater than or equal to 20. Next up, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. And this is going to give me -3x is greater than or equal to 18. And then I'll divide by -3 here to help me solve it. So once I do this, I end up with x. The sign is going to change direction here. So we've gone from a greater than or equal to now less than or equal to, because we're dividing by a negative number. And that's going to be equal to -6. So again, let's go and graph this here. So as we go across, make sure we space our values out. Okay, so I'm going to use my values of -5, 6, -7, -8. And we're starting at -6. And the circle needs to be a solid colored in circle. And I'm going to be moving in the left direction here to indicate that. Now, lastly, these two examples we've got to go. These ones are more about just understanding the graphing process here. So in this first one here, we've got a line which, and we've got two numbers here which we need to take into account. So in this case here, we're going to start our graph here, our number line. And what we need to do is we're going to have to put a number of indicators on here. So I'm going to start at -4, 3, -2, and I'm going to work my way up. 4, 5. Now, the key here is we need to look at what's being asked of us. Now, in the first instance, we're told that we've got -3 is less than x. So that's going to be one of the values. Now, you can see that it's not an equal sign, so we're just going to put a circle around that. Now, one thing I want us to think about is if we just take the first half of that and turn it around, that would be x is greater than -3. We're just rearranging that first part of it. So that means that we're seeking here, we're going to go up and we're going to move in a right direction with this. Now, the other key thing here is we need to look at the second part of it. So we've got 2. So again, this time it's less than or equal to. So we're going to put a circle at 2, but we're going to make it a solid circle here. And as we do this, we are then moving in a left direction because it's less than or equal to. So we're going to move up, we're going to move to the left here. And so what you can see here is we're just indicating it's between these 2 points, the values that we want here. So x is somewhere between -3 and 2. So rather than an arrow saying it's going on indefinitely, we're restricting it to just a certain number of points here. Now, lastly, we have x is between 4 and 7. So in this case here, again, we've got our number line again. And I'm going to put my values onto this. So we're going to have, make it a bit more. So we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's extend that a little bit to 8. Now in this case here, we're between 4 and 7. So both of these are going to be solid colored in circles because it's starting at those things and including them. And now all we need to do is we need to just connect these up. So this is going to be between 4 and 7. And so you can see here the values here and how we can graph it when we've got 2 different values. So like a limited range to work with.